Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
She's a replicant, isn't she?
I'm impressed. How many questions does it usually take to spot one?
I don't get it, Tyrell.
How many questions?
20, 30 cross-referenced.
It took more than 100 for Rachel, didn't it?
She doesn't know.
She's beginning to suspect, I think.
Suspect? How can it not know what it is?
Commerce is our goal here at Tyrell. More human than human is our motto. Rachel is an experiment, nothing more.
We began to recognize in them a strange obsession. After all, they are emotionally inexperienced with only a few years in which to store up the experiences which you and I take for granted. If we gift them with the past, we create a cushion or pillow for their emotions, and consequently we can control them better.
Memories. You're talking about memories.
And welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. And this week we discuss the movie that put neo-noir on the map as we talk about the much-beloved adaptation of Philip K. Dick's novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, starring everyone's favorite grumpy old man. It's 1982's Blade Runner. But first, he's the mysterious blue-eyed paper folder to my retired cop who's reluctant to go back. It's James. How are you doing, James?
My question isn't, do robots dream of electric sheep? My question is, would robots watch this piece of shit? That's my question, and I think the answer is no.
I disagree. But he's the creepy guy who builds mechanical dolls in his waterlogged apartment. It's Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
My dolls would have boobs.
You do kind of sound like Larry. Do you have two brothers named Daryl and Daryl?
No. My sister's name is Daryl. You know what?
There's only a certain amount, a certain demographic of our listeners that are going to get that joke.
Yeah. There's not many that are going to understand that reference.
Here's my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
Larry and Daryl and Daryl. Oh, get it. Go watch Newhart and Plebs.
James, what's happening around CBC this week?
Around CBC this week, Bad Gamers Anonymous is still looking for a couple of new podcasters. If you enjoy video games, if you think you have something to say that people may or may not want to listen to, I mean, hell, we let Rob podcast. Go to creativebraincandy.com, click the apply button to become a podcaster, and get your voice out there. Let the people know what exactly it is you think about the latest and greatest video games out there. Speaking of Bad Gamers Anonymous, special guest me there this week. I think maybe we'll see how it goes. Cyberpunk 2077 is what we'll be talking about. It is a fantastically written and voice acted game that is buggy as shit and just objectively terrible in every other possible metric. So make sure that you check out the latest episode of Bad Gamers Anonymous. And again, creativebraincandy.com. All the rest of the great family of podcasts that we have there, hit the apply button if you want to be a podcaster. We love to help people unless you're Rob.
Unless you're Rob. Speaking of Rob, you have any news for us this week?
I do. First one is comes straight from Stargate Pioneer. Thank you, SP. The FAA was notified after a large blue UFO was seen over Oahu. It appeared to drop into the ocean.
Hello?
Take it away, Carly.
Oh, for
hello?
Sake.
The aliens are real. We have video proof now that there are aliens that have visited Earth. Look, if you don't think that the U.S. government is currently filled and will be filled soon with aliens, you're not paying attention. Hello? It's time.
I guess I'm not paying attention.
To wake up, sheeple. Aliens are here. Get your guns. Get your pitchforks. It's time to defend the home planet.
Can we bring?
I thought it was country music that killed aliens.
I don't. Country music kills me. I hate that shit.
And so you're an alien. Hello.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead yet. It's not killing me.
Well, you're not listening to country music right now, are you?
Look, I love old country music, like Waylon and Willie and the Boys. Like, I love that shit. Like, give me some Poncho and Lefty. But this new shit that's out there, that's not country. That's just fucking ear noise.
What else you got, Rob?
So, in the same vein as Aliens, coming out on January 27th on Sci-Fi, our one and only Wash from Firefly is playing an alien in a new series that is called Resident Alien.
Yeah, that looks kind of funny. Speaking of Alan Tudyk, is that how you pronounce his name?
Tudyk.
Tudyk.
Whatever.
Tudyk.
It depends on which voice actor in Ghost of Tsushima is talking.
Exactly.
He plays Mr. Nobody in the first season of Doom Patrol. And it's hilarious. In the first season of Doom Patrol, it also has Brendan Fraser, who plays.
I'm out.
Yeah, no, he's actually really good because he's a robot, so you just basically hear his voice, and it's hilarious. And then it's got the guy from White Collar. Did you guys ever watch White Collar on USA? My wife loved that show.
No.
Yeah, it's got the main character from that who plays some guy, Larry Trainer is his name, but he's got an alien inside of him. Hello. But yeah, you guys should check out Doom Patrol because I don't think that whatever shit this is on Sci-Fi is going to last very long.
We'll see.
What else you got, Rob?
The last thing that I have is there is some new theories out there that dark matter is made up of teeny tiny black holes from another universe.
What?
Are people just making shit up now?
Well, it's 2020.
Well, I mean, theoretical physics is nothing but made up shit that you can't test. It's just
then what's the point?
Thought experiments, but
somebody pay me a shit ton of money to be a theoretical physicist. I can make shit up better than that. Dark matter is made up of Play-Doh that you just can't see.
Okay, so theoretical physics
good.
is based on known science, and what you just said was dumb and not based on known science.
Play-Doh exists.
I believe you.
Thank you, Rob. That's not really comforting, though, if Rob believes me. Maybe I shouldn't be a theoretical physicist. Never mind.
You retract your statement.
I do. There is no dark matter made of Play-Doh that you can't see.
All right. Well, is that all you got, Rob?
Yeah, I was.
Why? Why didn't you find an hour's worth of fucking news so we didn't have to review this stupid movie, Rob?
I reviewed a pretty good one. I don't know what you guys watched.
Who's ready for a pod crawl?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
Deckard is a man who likes his sushi. But the sushi vendor knows that 4 is too much, 2 is enough, so Deckard orders some noodles to go along with it, and is then immediately detained by the police because nobody eats noodles with sushi. It's a bleak, futuristic Los Angeles from 2 years ago, and Deckard is a man with a specific set of skills. Those skills are finding replicants to murder, and then getting the shit kicked out of him by said found replicants. There are 4 replicants on the loose who snuck into LA from a distant colony, and Captain Bryant wants Deckard back on the job to hunt them down. Deckard initially refuses, saying there are other fine Blade Runners who can do this, but Bryant makes him an offer he can't refuse. Admiral Adama acts as Deckard's chauffeur, and takes him on a hunt to find the Data cosplayers, and along the way they question Tyrell, the head of the corporation, who creates the replicants. Tyrell introduces Deckard to his assistant, Rachel, who it turns out is a next-generation replicant based on Tyrell's niece. Rachel wasn't aware of any of this until that moment, so, surprise. Deckard continues on his search, where he finds some pictures and stripper glitter, and using the advanced technology of the future consisting of an old Zenith TV and a picture scanner, he tracks down Zora the Snake Charmer. Ford recycles his nerdy voice from A New Hope to charm the Snake Charmer, but she's not a fan and karate chops him in the throat and runs off. He chases her for a bit before gunning her down in the street and through a window display. Back home, Rachel visits Deckard to get some answers and Deckard doesn't give 2 shits, so Rachel leaves. Next on the list of replicants for Deckard to find is Leon. But Leon heard about Zora's untimely demise and is looking for Deckard. However, Rachel also appears to be looking for Deckard as well, and Deckard spots her across the street just before he's ambushed by Leon, who begins to kick the shit out of him. Leon wants to know if Deckard really cares about him, so he asks Deckard if he knows what his birthday is because he didn't get anything this year, not even a card. Deckard, again, not giving two shits, says, "Yeah, I know when your birthday is, and you don't have long to live." Leon is hurt, and proceeds to gouge Deckard's eyes out when Rachel shoots Leon in the head. Back at Deckard's place, Rachel plays the piano as Deckard downs some liquor and blood, and then uses his sink to wash away all of the bruises. Deckard wants to thank Rachel for saving his life with some sexy time, but Rachel says nah, but Deckard says baby it's cold outside and sexes her up anyway. The next replicant up for wholesale slaughter is Pris, who has seduced Larry, but not his brothers Daryl or Daryl, in a plan to get the fourth replicant, Roy, an audience with the maker, Tyrell. Larry makes introductions. Roy says I want to live past the ripe old age of 4 years old, and Tyrell says, sorry, can't do it. Roy doesn't take it well and crushes Tyrell's skull, as well as gouges his eyes out. Back at Larry's place, Deckard is getting his ass kicked by Pris before she decides to do some floor routine, and he shoots her in the guts, multiple times. Like so many times. Roy comes back to Larry's place fresh off of a killing spree and sees Pris dead, so he deep Frenches her, which is a very normal, replicated human thing to do. Deckard gets a shot, but misses as Roy has the ability of bullet dodge. Roy, knowing he's about to hit his expiration date, decides to play with Deckard for a bit and chases him through the old, wet building. After some disrobing and dislocated fingers later, they end up on the roof where Deckard attempts to jump to a neighboring building, but doesn't quite make it. Roy leaps with ease and grins as he sees Deckard's grip on life slipping in the rain. At the last moment, Roy catches Deckard as he's about to fall to his watery demise and hauls him up to the roof. Deckard is waiting for his eye-gouging moment, but Roy waxes poetic on memories, and what it is to be human as he dies and releases his dove hostage. Adama congratulates Deckard on a job well done, but it's too bad Rachel was a replicant and had to die. Deckard rushes home to find Rachel asleep on his sofa. He tells her they are getting the fuck out of Dodge, and roll Deckard finding Adama's origami unicorn and fleeing with Rachel, credits.
So that's not what I watched.
What did you watch?
Babe Runner. I thought that's what we were supposed to watch.
That's probably a much better movie. I would not have fallen asleep through Babe Runner. Just
Are you
based,
sure?
Yeah, just based. Well, I mean, after I would have paused it after round one, and then when round two hit, when I woke up a little bit later, I would have just hit unpause.
Yeah,
But at that point, you would only watched 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the movie.
That's all he needs.
Really, that's all I need to get a true feel for the movie.
I mean, honestly, there was only about 5 minutes worth of dialogue in this entire movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of
true.
There was a lot of just superfluous fucking okay, so did we have to watch them take the entire trip from sushi place to police station?
Well, that was a look at all this beautiful neo-noir scenery.
You know what,
it's a dark and dangerous Los Angeles set in the future of 2019.
Yeah, you know
which
what
was
else?
The future back in 1982.
You know what else was a dark and dangerous L.A. landscape that was a much better movie? Escape from L.A.
Well, it was, and they showed plenty of that too. That fucking helicopter ride that they took,
Escape from L.A. still objectively better than this movie.
So what I think is the same guy that wrote or had a hand in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which came out in '79, had a hand in this one. So they had those nice sweeping, long, scenic shots.
No,
that you fall asleep to.
Oh my God, there was a lot of that
because I fell asleep.
Somebody explain the unicorn. I don't understand the unicorn.
Wait, what unicorn?
Yeah, right. I know you fell asleep. I looked up at the right time. Literally, I was playing a game on my phone, and I looked up. I went, "Oh, there's the unicorn those two assholes were talking about in Discord." And I immediately just went back down to my phone.
I still have no idea what I watched. Which one I watched?
Explain the unicorn to me.
Okay, so the unicorn is the whole premise behind this, and one of the things that they kind of answered in the movie. But
I don't mean to interrupt you, but that was a rhetorical question. I don't give a shit.
He doesn't care. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to answer it anyway, so fuck off. The whole point of this movie is replicants, and they're getting more and more advanced. So Rachel is a prototype of the most advanced replicant that they have, and it was based off of Tyrell's niece, right? So they took Tyrell's niece's memories and implanted them in Rachel. One of the things that Rachel's or Tyrell's niece was into were unicorns, which, since Decker had a dream of a unicorn while he was falling asleep at his piano, kind of gives you the first glimpse into, well, maybe Deckard is a replicant as well. And they show various clues as to, yeah, Deckard is actually a replicant, because one of the things that they show on all of the replicants throughout the movie is that their eyes glow red under certain conditions. Well, Deckard's eyes did that too whenever he was talking to Rachel in his apartment towards the middle of the movie. Right.
Yeah, I caught that.
It's very subtle, but it's there.
Yeah, no, I caught that, and I thought to myself, he's a replicant, and this is dumb. Like, that's the most cliche thing that you could possibly do, is have him be hunting these replicants as these replicants begin to evolve, right? Because now the AI is getting smarter. They're wanting to live past their 4-year expiration date. They're wanting to have a life.
Well,
and so it's very cliche for the hunter to be the hunted at the same time.
Well, the thing is this movie was the one that started that cliche. Okay. So before this movie, or before the novel, actually, the cliche didn't exist.
I am prepared to make this concession. I told you guys before the show, and I'll make it here at the beginning while we're talking about it. I am prepared to concede that in 1982, had I watched this film at the ripe old age of 6 years old, had this been one of the first movies that I had seen that did all of these things with the fantastic landscapes and the storytelling and these things that are now cliche and that we're all just so used to in the year of our Lord 2021, and I mean that 2021 WON. That I would have a different view of this movie. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. The first time I watched this movie was high as a kite in about 1999, and so I didn't remember any of it, and I just didn't care. I was too busy going, hey, I'm high. And now I've watched it completely stone sober, wishing, Jesus Christ,
wishing you were high
weed?
Again?
I want to be high as fuck right now so that I don't have to watch this shit.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to concede that 1982 was probably groundbreaking and fantastic, and everybody like, it's so good.
Well, and it was. I mean, this is one of the first examples of a neo-noir film that, hit it big in the box office, although it was sort of a box office disappointment that drew a cult following later on. And then, of course, there's several different versions of the movie. Which we'll get into, because I asked Rob, I wanted to see which versions of the movie that you guys were going to watch, because at this point I've seen them all.
I watched Blade Runner.
Yeah, I've seen
Babe
the original
Runner.
theatrical
Babe Runner.
Run, and I've caught it on cable a few times, so I've seen the televised version.
Good job.
I caught the director's cut back whenever I came out in the 90s, and then
are you wanting
just
some
recently,
sushi or something?
And I just recently watched the final cut, which was put together by Ridley Scott. So I wanted to know which version you guys were going to watch, so that we could discuss, apples to apples comparison here. And so I asked Rob what version he watched. I don't know, Blade Runner.
I watched Blade Runner.
Okay. And so I asked him specific questions so that I can pinpoint which version he watched.
Wait.
And it was like trying to pull information
out
of a toddler.
Reenactment. Let's do a reenactment. Okay.
There's no reenactment needed. Like, I could just go downstairs and ask my daughter questions, and she would answer me more coherently than you answered Jason.
And then Jason asks, which version are you watching? I'm watching the final cut because I haven't seen that. What did you watch, Rob? I said, normal one, I guess. Did it have voiceover narration?
What I guess.
Nope. No voiceover. How did it end? The two leaving. What showed in the last scene? They were sneaking out to get away from everything. Elevator or mountains? Elevator, I guess. No mountains. And then...
So you weren't sure about the elevator?
Whatever.
I mean, it was right there. It was the last fucking thing in the scene.
Like, were you confused as to whether the elevator was mountains? I'm not sure why the I guess was there.
Yeah. And then,
You're worse than a fucking teenager who just
so
doesn't
the
wanna
original
answer.
the original theatrical cut had Harrison Ford doing a narration voiceover.
Didn't get that
throughout the movie. So that gave me my first clue that he was probably watching either the director's cut or the final cut, one of the two.
Yeah.
But I wanted to verify. And so the original theatrical cut also had an alternate ending where they're driving out of LA towards some mountains, and it's a very scenic, it's a very bright, cheerful kind of ending.
Which would be a dark stark contrast to what the movie was, which was dark.
Right.
Dark and raining
gritty
all the time.
Well,
right.
Okay, but that's an artistic choice.
The style.
Yeah.
That's the noir style.
It's a very callback to noir style with that's the whole thing. Like he's like this 1940s hardened cop, right? See?
Right.
That doesn't
hardened cop, detective. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's the shtick. That's the whole theme to these kinds of movies. And honestly, I don't really care for these kinds of movies anyway. So it's not really a shock that I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean noir. If you don't care for noir films, then yeah, this is probably going to turn you off immediately because it is very dark and wet.
But the
and
final
dreary
cut,
the entire time.
Oh, you had me at wet.
The final cut has wet. The final cut has updated graphics, doesn't it? Like updated visuals.
Yes. They didn't really. They sharpened everything up. They remastered it for high definition. They didn't really put in any additional graphics or anything like that.
So no extra CGI.
No, there's no extra CGI except for one part where Zora is crashing through that window. They didn't like the original because the stunt woman did it originally, and the wig that she was wearing was just horrid. It wasn't a very good scene just because of some of the props that they had. So they did redo that on green screen with the original actress, and they digitized that on top of that scene.
So I'll tell you that being the case, you can't help but be impressed with what this movie did in 1982. Sure, by 1982 we had Star Wars and we had seen what practical effects can do, but I mean this took it to the nth level.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. Beautifully shot. I'm not real fond of all the music. I mean, there's only so much synthwave that I can stand before it starts grating on my nerves.
But that's what 2019 is all about, is synthwave.
Yeah, can we talk about all the things this movie got wrong for the future?
Well, yeah, hold on. I want to get back to Rob giving me the shit fucking answers that he gave me because I asked, what was the last scene? The two leaving.
Yeah, the two leaving.
Well, that doesn't tell me anything because they were leaving in both of the fucking scenes.
Yeah, well.
So I asked, what showed in the last scene? They were sneaking out to get away from everything. Well, that's the same fucking thing. Yeah. So it was...
and then you asked about the unicorn dream sequence, and I said, nope, no unicorns.
And you said, nope, no unicorns. And I was like, well, shit. The only version that didn't have the unicorn dream sequence was the original theatrical release. So then I started asking him questions again. Maybe he didn't understand what I was trying to, or maybe he gave me different information. I didn't understand what he was saying. So I asked him, did they drive out of LA towards a sunny landscape with fucking mountains in the background?
Nope. Nope.
And so at this point, I figured he watched some kind of bootleg edited copy that he got off of.
He just watched the final cut. He just didn't pay attention. Look, I watched can half-ass pay attention.
I watched the final cut, and I happened to fall asleep right when the unicorn thing came up,
and didn't wake up until they were going in the elevator.
Yeah. No, I woke up after that. But yeah. He was serenading me with his piano playing, and it made me fall asleep.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, it's one like 3-second scene that you blink, you miss it, or you fall asleep, you miss it. So I didn't know there was an actual unicorn in the movie. Other than
how long does it take you to blink?
Origami. I didn't blink. I fell asleep.
Do you have narcolepsy?
But you said you blink, you miss it. I mean, it's longer than a blink.
Yeah. Do you have narcolepsy?
In fact, it comes up on the screen twice. He gets a glimpse of the uniform once, and then it shoots back to him at the piano, fully falling asleep. And then it's like a full almost 5 seconds of unicorn running through the forest.
Yeah, it's not like it's a short scene, Rob.
Oh, well, I still fell asleep.
Well, it's good to know that you put as much effort into reviewing movies as you do your IT
Look,
work.
I told you that I didn't even make it through the first 20 minutes the first time I attempted to watch this thing. So you should have had very low hopes for me.
I always have low expectations.
Every week.
Yeah, every
You
week,
should.
Rob. There's not a week that goes by that I don't have super low expectations for what you're going to bring to the table.
Oh, I got good stuff that I'm bringing to the table today.
Good. Well, when are you bringing it?
Yeah.
When's the haiku? When are the awards? That's where I'm at.
Is that the highlight of
Nope.
this show for you,
Yeah,
Rob?
man,
Is the end?
When it's movies like this, yeah. It's how fast
Okay,
can we
look.
get to the? Can we just like skip? No, I do have a valid question though, or
Okay.
I have a question. Hopefully, Jason can answer this because apparently he likes this. All right, so replicants are illegal, right?
Right.
Right. So why are they still making replicants?
Because
I
rich
think-
corporations can do what the fuck they want.
Well, yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And I don't think that all replicants are illegal. I think it's the replicants that broke away
do
or
bad
rebelled
things
off planet. Yeah. I think those are the ones that they're hunting down and executing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
this was a rail against capitalism. That's what it was.
How do you say that's a rail against capitalism?
Big corporation bad. Big corporation do what they want. Big corporation above the law.
I didn't see that. I mean, really,
Quick,
they didn't even discuss that at all.
Somebody get AOC in here to.
Oh, for
I'd watch that movie.
sake.
I'd watch that fucking movie all day long. Like, give her a gun and let her go up against replicants. Boom. I'm all in. I am all in.
Do her clothes start to disappear as the movie goes
Rob,
further
I'm
on?
not going to get into this with. No, we'll do this off air when it's not being recorded. Okay,
Perfect.
and the NSA doesn't have any proof.
Say hi to Frank for me.
You two are dumb. No, there was a lot of eye symbolism in this movie. So we had the red eyes on the replicants. We have
Red eyes on the owls. I saw the fake owls. See, I was watching.
Well, yeah, because that was a fake
the thing.
owl.
Like, where the fuck have you been for the first 15 minutes of this podcast?
Clipping my fingernails.
So, Edward
my
James
ass.
Olmos's character had those freaky blue eyes. James Hong's eye monker, was a central part of this movie. We have, two different scenes of eye gouging. So
There was a lady who had an eye patch.
right.
Did you catch
Daryl
that?
Hannah's character, Priss,
Put black makeup.
blacked her eyes out.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. So it was a lot of eye symbolism in this movie, kind of like the eyes of the windows to the soul,
Right.
which goes to the larger theme of this movie is,
Corporations bad.
what is it to be human?
Oh,
no, not
yeah.
corporations are bad. It's what is it to be human? Fuck.
I love to just push your fucking buttons with that. It's so much fun for me. Yeah, but like this has been like, so this isn't a new concept, right? Like eyes of the windows to the soul, like this has been since fucking like way back in the Greek
No, since Metropolis
philosophy
times.
days, not since Metropolis. But I will say this, that you brought up
There's
Metropolis,
actually a
Rob,
tie to Metropolis.
Oh, damn
in this
it.
movie, yeah.
which I'm okay. Look, films like this deserve their due. They deserve their place in history, both what they do for pop culture and what they do for film. So this film definitely deserves the place that it gets, the high honor that it does. And even a film like Metropolis does for what it did for film and for the genre. Even if they're shit films, there are still elements of it that have a ripple effect through the film industry for years to come. Right?
Right.
So I am okay with us, but I'm still going to shit on them because they're just
Well, yeah.
terrible. Like,
Yeah.
they're just bad.
So yeah, the way that they did
We watch
the
shit,
red
so
eye
you don't have to.
effect, the way that they did the red eye effect in the movie is actually a technique that Fritz came up with whenever he was a filmmaker back in the 30s, where they took a partially reflective mirror and hit their eyes with light at a 45-degree angle to the camera. So yeah,
I just thought it was Polaroid.
So what I'm hearing here, is because Jason didn't pack his normal computer, he had a lot of time to do research for this episode because he couldn't play video games.
I've been busier than shit. It's called reading, Rob. I can read pretty quick.
He reads when he's not on the toilet.
Okay.
Unlike you, Rob, who only reads when on the toilet.
Sometimes I don't read. Sometimes I watch the pictures.
Sometimes you don't even. Okay, I don't want to. This is just you're taking it to
Let's
a weird
move on.
place.
Let's move on from this.
All right, let's talk about all of the things that this film got wrong for 2019.
Okay, let's do it.
So tube televisions are still around,
right?
AI seems to be very smart.
Sure, yeah.
There's a steampunk element that is certainly not anywhere in 2019.
Cyberpunk. This is a cyberpunk movie.
Sure, whatever you want to call it, cyberpunk, steampunk, all the fucking same shit.
No, it's not.
It is the same shit.
They're not the same shit.
One is based on steam technology. The other one's based on fucking technology.
Future technology, yeah.
All right, so there you go. It's the same shit.
Really, the same thing.
But it all looks the same. Punk.
It doesn't. They have a different style.
You know what? I'm done talking about this with you. Same thing. Just one is based on past tech. One is based on future tech. It's same fucking look and style and feel to it, which is why it's all just fucking steampunk to me. Kodak really is still around making pictures of Polaroids? I don't think so. What else?
Well, Kodak is still around now.
Yeah, but making pictures?
No, not so much.
Yeah, your pictures are on your phone. Speaking of phones, like, really? Pay phones? Not really a thing anymore. Especially in a bar. This is not a thing. Who would FaceTime in a bar? Nobody. You can't hear shit in a bar. But he's trying to FaceTime Hottie McReplicant.
That's not true. There are plenty of people who do live stream, Facebook live streams and Instagram live streams. And
but those are that is a one-way form of communication that isn't trying to communicate with some other people.
That's not having a conversation.
Yeah, it's not me trying to talk to
Rob.
James about what he hated about this movie,
literally
and what he's doing instead.
Watching Discovery, which, by the way, the last episode of Discovery, Rob, amazing.
Didn't watch it. I'm watching it tonight.
God, you got to stop being busy. It's so good.
I know. I'm watching it tonight.
Oh my God.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it tomorrow.
I have less desire to watch Discovery after you two's little mutiny attempt than I did before. So thank you very much.
Wait. You did listen to it, though. That's all we were trying to do. We got you to listen.
That I called you Hitler and immediately apologized for it.
Yeah, I got that. I was just rolling into my new town whenever you said that.
Broadcast dictator or podcast dictator. Yeah.
Podcast Hitler. That doesn't really work. Yeah, but there's no space wizard in this episode, so it's great.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
God.
Yeah, look, I think I'm on Team Jason. Like, it's a shit show.
I'm looking forward to starting The Expanse, though.
You'll be disappointed.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that because I'm about to start that too.
Yeah. Watch Doom Patrol instead. I'm just telling you. Yeah. I've stopped watching The Expanse. I got 2 or 3 episodes in. I'm like, this is boring as fuck. I'll just go watch Doom Patrol. What else did they get wrong in this
Flying Cars
movie? Flying Cars. Flying Cars. Ration sushi. And no pandemic. So,
there was no pandemic in 2019.
There probably was. We just didn't know it.
Then it didn't happen.
No, it did happen.
No, if we don't hear it didn't happen.
They found evidence of the Rona in as far as early as November and as far inland as Iowa. So
that was November was about when this took place. November 2019 was when this movie took place. So,
and there were no
maybe
Christmas
the Rona
decorations?
hadn't happened yet.
It had
And there were no
reached
Christmas
LA yet.
decorations? I mean, in November 2019, there were Christmas decorations everywhere.
Christmas-
Shit, in September
No.
2019,
The reason
there
why-
were Christmas decorations everywhere.
It's because Christmas is a corporate holiday. Corporations are bad.
And they didn't go into a Costco where there's Christmas trees out in fucking August.
Where's all the Costco's? Where's the Walmarts? Like, it just seems, and plus, LA, as much of a shithole as it is, as much as, myself and the Reverend Maynard James Keenan wish that it would just slide into the ocean. It doesn't look like that.
I'm still glad. I'm happy to see the fireballs still happen.
Yeah, there's no fireballs on it. Like, as you come into LA.
Why is it every
giant
future
factories?
Why is there every future movie that depicts LA fireballs are coming out of factories?
You know what? If you want a future movie that depicts LA that is going to be like in 50, 60 years, probably more accurate than anything we've seen so far, just go to the ocean and just watch it.
Watch the ocean.
God,
watch the ocean.
That's
as it falls off.
No, there's oil refineries outside of LA, and oil refineries do have those.
Well, sure, but not like
gas
that.
injection,
giant nuclear fireballs.
Not on the edge of the fucking city where it's like so overly crowded that. Like, it's not that
if the
overly
city
crowded.
grows at that point,
But
then
it
it would be at the edge. Well, okay, so no, we're comparing LA now to LA.
What he thought LA was going to look
future vision.
Also, the cop trope. Like, I was just waiting for him to be like Martaw in Lethal Weapon.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, I was just like, Jesus Christ, could he play like, it's just fucking Harrison Ford being Harrison Ford. It was not a believable character. I did enjoy him getting his ass kicked. I was just waiting for Kylo to come in, finish the job.
He's supposed to be the Blade Runner, a dude that kills replicants.
Yeah,
and he's objectively terrible at
and
it.
He can find them really well. He just
finds
can't
them
fucking
great.
fight
He
them.
can't. Yeah, you would think he would have, because apparently he's like a badass one, right? He came out of retirement, or was forced to come out of retirement
because he's so good at it.
No, I think it's because he's the last fucking one left.
Regardless,
that's different.
You would think if
Why
he's the
didn't they
last
just
one
say
left,
that?
he was doing something right, because the replicants didn't kill him. So why?
Yeah,
why is he so shitty?
Why is he? Yeah, he's really shitty at it. Like, the stripper beat his ass.
But the stripper beat his ass so
Which,
hard.
by the way, like,
Wait,
let's
okay,
just-
he
like,
was
can we
okay.
just-
He was slightly distracted by her strutting around
By her
topless.
snake.
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Let's talk about. I want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Because the announcer said,
Yeah,
the stripper announcer
has
said,
her way
watch
with
as she gains all of the pleasure
from the snake.
from the snake.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in 2019, bestiality is apparently legal in the state of California.
I guess
That
in
was a
2019, a lot of
Sure,
things
that's
are
accurate.
legal.
I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to see the snake.
Yeah, that's a different movie, Rob. Probably closer to Babe Runner,
Blade Runner,
than
yeah.
Blade Runner.
Let me see if they have the snake scene.
You should probably. Why don't you do that while I continue to talk about the stripper that kicked Harrison Ford's ass? I didn't believe it. Number one, like, at first, she just goes about her routine like it's nothing. When does she know that he's there to kill her?
I think she
And
probably knew from the beginning.
Why didn't he just kill her? Like, he had the drop on her. She didn't know at first, at least, because why would you go take a shower and show your boobs to everybody unless it's just gratuitous boobs, which I am 100% okay with.
I think
but why do that if you're just going to kill him after? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
maybe he wanted to verify that she was who she was, because she looked a lot different in her, stripper glitter than she did after she showered. So
yes, she did. Like, it was almost a different actress.
Yeah.
I thought.
She showered fast too.
Was it a different actress?
no,
No.
it was the same actress. I thought it was Bo Derek at first, but
So it's the same makeup artist that made Kristen Wiig look hot in W84.
yes, probably. Or a relative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or an understudy, somebody that studied off of that same makeup artist. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she was hot one second, with the snake, and then all of a sudden she took the snake off, and you're like, what the fuck?
So
put the snake back on.
yeah. No, I some of the things that he did were questionable whenever he was
a lot
chasing
of the
them
things
down.
he did were questionable. How about when he's getting chased by the big bad at the end? Let's just forget Daryl Hannah, like getting the drop on him, like him not just randomly shooting into each of the dolls. When he first walks into the room, let me get very close and make sure that this is the one I want to shoot before I shoot it. Just fucking shoot them all, asshole.
He's a discriminating shot.
Let's just forget about that. Forget about the fact that he knew right away that he was going to have to kill the replicant, Rachel, when he found out that she left, and then she saved him, and he's like, oh, well, I kind of want to put my dick in you, so I probably won't shoot you.
Not yet.
Probably.
Okay, let's forget about that. Let's go to the end. The big bad guy. I don't even remember his name.
Roy.
Roy.
Played by
he's
Rutger
the Clockwork
Hauer.
Orange. Yeah, he's the Clockwork Orange knockoff.
What?
Because that's who he reminds me of. Is the bad guy in Clockwork Orange. McDowell, whatever character he played.
Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell. Yeah, he reminded me of that character from Clockwork. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Instead of going down, he's in a large building being chased by a replicant that has bullet dodge. Like the other replicants didn't. They just had shitty fighting skills, because I don't know how Harrison Ford fucking won any of these fights. I really don't. I'm like,
well, he
super
didn't.
confused.
I mean, he didn't win any fight. He shot Zora.
He shot the stripper in the back.
He shot Zora in the back. He shot Daryl Hannah's character as she was doing her floor routine. And then
I don't know
Leon,
why she
he
was
got
doing the
saved.
floor routine.
Because it looked cool.
Why was she doing oh man, she was so hot back in the day, Daryl Hannah. My God.
That wasn't Daryl Hannah. That was Sean Young. Or are you talking about
Rachel was Sean Young.
Yeah. Sorry.
Daryl Hannah played Pris.
Yeah.
No, Rachel was hot too back in the day. Like Sean Young. Call me, baby. But like Daryl Hannah she was not. There's something about crazy that I like.
So
I'm not sure what it is, but I like it.
You've seen Sean Young in another movie, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember where it is. I was trying to place it the whole fucking movie, and I didn't want to look at IMDb because I don't care.
Dune.
What was it?
Dune. Yeah.
Yeah. God, that movie's so terrible. I try to forget everything about that fucking movie. It's just so bad. At least this movie's watchable. Dude is not. It's like 4 hours of my life that I just want to forget. All right. Anyway, instead of going down when he's fighting the bad guy, he goes up. Why would you go up in any chase when you're being chased? Why would you go up?
I think the path down. I think the path down went through Roy. I think Roy was in between him and the stairs.
No.
Okay, but going up is just dumb. That's asking to fall off the fucking building.
He went down. He went out. And he went out and looked at the elevator and then made a conscious decision to go up while Roy was still in the other room. He went out into the hallway. Yeah, he went out into the hallway.
I don't remember that. I don't remember him leaving the apartment. I remember
How do you know, Rob? You were sleeping.
Yeah.
No, I watched that part. There was gun shooting, so at that point in time, it had me hooked.
I remember him running room to room trying to stay ahead of Roy. I remember him going out of a window.
Yeah, he went up through the hole in the floor, and then he went.
Okay,
he went out the window and then he climbed up to the roof.
But wait, he goes up through the hole in the floor, and then he hides. Why didn't he just go up through the hole in the room and then go out that door and run down?
Yeah, I see. That's my question as well. Mm-hmm. And then my other thing is, if I knew that Roy was on the other side of the wall and was going to break through and get the gun,
boom, because that thing was a slug thrower. He should have just shot.
Yeah, I don't understand how he didn't know that.
Because not only did Roy have bullet dodge,
especially if he's
Roy
a replicant, but isn't
bullet dodge and X-ray eyes.
And X-ray eyes, right? But why did that's just it. So the replicants that don't know the replicants are just not smart and not strong.
Yeah, that's how they play, or that's how they get by as playing as human.
That sounds dumb and unbelievable in every possible way. So This movie sucks. I don't know what to say. It just sucks. It's watchable. Like, you should watch it and you should be amazed at what they were able to do in 1982. But the story, you're going to be like, this is just bullshit. Like, everything about it's bullshit. And on top of it, they've got the biggest bullshitter of all bullshitters, fucking Harrison Ford playing it. Like, how did they get him to come back to a sci-fi role? They're like, Harrison, we've got this great role for you. You're going to play a replicant. You're not going to know you're a replicant. It's in the future. In 2019, we'll all be dead by then anyway, so it doesn't matter. We won't, nobody will care if we got anything right. I think it'll be great. And he's like, is there a sequel? No, we promise there's no sequel. Then I'll do it. And then in 2017, they're like, hey, we've got Blade Runner 2049 there. Like, we know you need money. We know Flockhart's fucking bleed you dry. So come be in it.
You need to buy a new plane now. So you've crashed,
all the other ones you had.
Joke all you want. He did go save some hikers one time in a helicopter.
He did in a helicopter. Yeah.
Harrison Ford, look, if he's one of the guys that
we can do both. We can appreciate his philanthropy and his saving people and the fact that he can't fly a plane to save his life.
Absolutely. I want to shake his hand, have a beer and a cigar with him, and then look at him and go, you can't fly for shit. Please stop.
Yeah.
Like, I could do both. I'm sure he's a fun guy when you don't pester him about Star Wars and, hey, did you know you were a fucking replicant in Blade Runner, derp? I don't think, don't pester him about his shit. Just be like, you know what?
Ask him if he really hates snakes.
Dude. I want to know, do you have to take Viagra to get it up to Callista Flockhart? Like, that's what I want to know.
And how many?
Yeah. Like, the answer isn't, do you? The answer is how many? How old is he? Like 97?
Yeah, he's up there.
God, somebody get him a fucking vaccine. National treasure, that man. He can't act for shit, but he seems like a really cool fucking dude.
I don't know.
Shit from anybody.
I don't think he would be that great of a hang. I think he's just a grumpy old fuck who probably wouldn't talk very much.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, I need him as my best friend. No talking. We sit there. We have a drink. We fucking smoke a cigar. We go our separate ways. This sounds like the best friend that I need.
Oh shit. Yeah. He's probably just you with more money and an acting career.
Well, there you go. If you guys want to know what I would do if I had a shit ton of money, I would crash planes and save people.
And smoke cigars while doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, you got a haiku for us this week.
Yeah. I got one. This one's titled whatever. That's really how I felt after this. Whatever. Rain, rain, go away. Enjoy some Coca-Cola. Still a shitty flick.
Okay. I thought you were bringing your A game today.
Yeah, I did too. Like, you hyped this up at the beginning of the podcast. You're like, guys, no, you got to wait for the
Look, that was about as much A game as what Blade Runner had. So I think we're fine.
No. Blade Runner was I mean, it was very well paced. It looked great.
Yeah, I'll give it that. It looked great. It was well shot. It was well directed.
Yep.
It was well paced. I think the soundtrack went with the flick.
Yeah.
It was just the story is pretty dated at this point. Like, yeah. I mean, if we're being honest, it's pretty dated.
I mean, yeah, the story, I'm not sure it's got legs, but
I don't think it had legs then.
No,
Rob, were you alive in 1982?
No,
barely. Actually, I was. I was born in July of 1982.
Okay, then shut the fuck up.
You asked if I was alive. I was.
Just, for fuck's sake.
I wish I wasn't, because this is associated with that year.
For those of you wondering, yes, this movie is, in fact, more sci-fi than 11/22/63.
I was about to ask.
I would watch this movie over 11/22/63.
Really?
Yeah, I really would, Rob.
Wow.
Like, there's some movies that I wouldn't. Like Metropolis, no. I'd rather watch 11/22/63. right? But like this movie, like all the prequels, all the sequels of Star Wars, yeah, I'd probably watch 11/22/63 over them. This one,
Wow.
though, I would watch this over 11/22/63.
Okay.
I mean, there's like clones, AI, fucking flying cars. There's lots of shit. Yeah,
Flying cars that lift themselves up via steam.
Steampunk.
Yep.
It wasn't lifting itself from steam. That was exhaust, you dips.
Nope, that was steam.
It was fucking wet and cold.
That was steam.
Y'all know what a condensation is, right?
I know what a condom is.
Oh, God.
Wow. I don't even know where to go.
Who's got awards?
Yeah, please.
That's been so long.
Rob, who's got your black lung?
I gave my black lung to Rachel for smoking while getting interrogated.
Okay. James?
I gave my black lung to the very first doctor from Tyrell who was interviewing Leon. I don't remember his name.
That was not a doctor. That was a Blade Runner.
Yeah, that was a Blade Runner.
Oh, then that guy. I gave it to the first Blade Runner for smoking while interrogating a replicant and then getting shot in the chest with a small caliber handgun and going flying through a fucking wall.
Yeah, for asking about his mother.
About his mom. Yeah.
I'm giving my black lung to the movie itself, just because it seemed like everybody was fucking smoking in this movie, and they were smoking those weird French cigarettes that kind of look like joints, but they aren't.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was actually going to do that, but until Rob did his, and so I thought the juxtaposition of his being a replicant smoking while being interrogated, and then mine being a Blade Runner smoking while interrogating, made a nice bookend, and nobody would give a shit what your award was.
That was very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
It sounds like he phoned his in to me, James.
No, it fuck all
no thought into it.
He didn't put no thought into it.
Yeah.
Man.
I hate both of you. James, who's got your head lush?
Harrison Ford. Like every time there was liquor in front of him, he drank it.
Yep.
Every time. There wasn't a time where there was liquor in front of him.
It could have blood in it. He still drank it.
Yeah, he was like, fuck it, I'll drink it.
Yeah. So I got a little more specific. I gave it to Deckard for drinking while enhancing.
Drinking while enhancing?
Yes. When he was looking at that photo through the TV, he kept saying, enhance, enhance. Yeah. Shift 45 and enhance. That was
dumb.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing ever.
Like, that's not how pictures work.
Yeah. You could shift the view and see behind things.
Yeah. I mean, it was fairly accurate up until that point where they just basically zoomed in.
There's not a program that goes enhance, and it zooms in, and as it zooms in, the quality gets increasingly better. There's no software out there that does that.
But did you notice that while the quality got increasingly better, when he went to go print it, you couldn't even tell.
Was it on a dot matrix printer?
Yeah, you couldn't tell what it was. It was so bad. It was just like this blob.
Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, if you've got a high enough resolution scan, he could zoom in that far and get that much detail.
But he was also rotating the picture.
They're still doing Polaroids. It's not like it's not like he's got a 10,000 megapixel fucking phone in his hand doing it. They're taking fucking Polaroids. And you're not getting that resolution off a goddamn Polaroid.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Who's got your fucking head lush award, Jason?
So mine's going to go to Deckard as well, just because, he consistently drank throughout the fucking movie. In fact, I think he used liquor as basically his mouthwash at one point.
He did. Yes, he did. At first, I was like, was that blood he just randomly spit out of his mouth? Because that was a lot of blood. I'm like, oh, no, that was just fucking liquor.
Well, it was liquor mixed with blood.
He was trying to stop the bleeding.
Rob, who's got your player?
I gave it to Deckard for getting some replicant action forcefully.
God, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that doesn't age well.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. James.
I'm going to give mine to Rachel because I'm just going to say that she wanted it.
Oh, God.
God. You can't say that now.
Yeah.
Why? I'm talking about 1982, not now. Now, obviously, no means no. But in 1982, like playing hard to get, you didn't have to fucking sign forms. So she wanted it.
So actually, mine's going to go to Rachel as well.
Because she wanted it.
No, just because I think she was playing the long game with
Oh,
Deckard
hell yeah.
on that. So
As soon as she knew that she was a fucking replicant, she was like, the only thing that's getting me out of getting my fucking head blown off is my pussy. I am 100% giving it up.
yeah,
Do you think she's anatomically correct?
yeah,
Yes, I think they're absolutely 100%.
replicants. They replicated humans.
Do
Rob.
you
doesn't-
think if
he
you
doesn't-
do
he
you
doesn't
think
know
if
what
you
that
say
means.
it's slower, it's going to
He'll
prove
get
your
it.
point?
No, I'm thinking if I say it slower, you might understand it.
He won't,
okay.
though. He won't.
Okay. Last one.
All right, James, who's got your purple hippo?
Purple Hippo is going to go to, Deckard, because I think he finally realized, he was a replicant, which is why I think Roy didn't kill him, because Roy figured out he was a replicant. So when he figured out he was a replicant, that was probably a big mind fuck for him.
I don't think that's why
That
Roy
and
didn't
anyone
kill
who
him.
goes, yeah. And then like anyone who watched this movie and went, oh my God, masterpiece. And they get
So
it.
Jason,
Yeah.
Rob?
I'm giving mine to Roy because he was a walking purple hippo.
He kind of was.
He really
dude.
was. I mean,
Yeah.
that whole chase thing was. He was.
There was a weird scene.
He
Why
was
was he
coked out
why
of
was
his
he
mind.
undressing as he went? I didn't
He was
understand.
coked out of his mind, man. When you take
was
some
about to
hard
die.
drugs,
Well, it was
sometimes
1980. They were all coked out of their mind. Let's just be fair.
sometimes you get a
We're all
little hot
coked
and you just have to take your shirt off.
He was constantly sweating. Like I get, like for whatever reason, LA was under a tsunami warning the entire fucking
Monsoon
rain
warning. Yeah.
all the fucking time.
They had,
yeah, I don't
they
get
saw
it.
more rain in those like 3 days than they did.
So I'm guessing being moist was probably
yeah.
a thing. Yeah, but I
Moist.
don't understand why he was constantly fucking sweating unless he was just doing copious amounts of cocaine.
Maybe that's
on set.
Maybe that's your tell as to when you're about to die. Is you just
Maybe
start
that's why.
sweating
Well,
profusely.
I'm guessing the whole like just I'm going to take all my clothes off while I go try to kill Harrison Ford thing. I bet that was all just ad libbed from him, coked out of his mind.
A lot of Rutger
Listen,
Hauer's
Ridley-
scenes were
Ridley,
kind
I've
of
got-
ad libbed by him. Yeah.
I got an idea.
Because he was coked out of his mind.
Got
I
an
don't know
idea
that he
for
was
you.
coked out of his mind, but yeah.
I'm going to take my shirt off because we haven't seen enough topless men.
I want to
in this
run
movie.
around in my boxers.
And I'm going to run
and
around.
my combat boots.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm going to shove a nail through my hand because it cramps up.
Well, I thought that was more like he was going to be the savior of the foreshadowing. He's going to be the savior of in the immediate future, Deckard. But then overall, Deckard was going to go on and save all the replicants. So
You are
I think-
thinking way too deep.
I'm just trying to figure out
Nope,
what I would
too
think if
deep.
I was coked up in the 1980s.
Okay. All right.
So my purple hippo is going to go to Rachel because she had no idea that she was a replicant until Deckard and Tyrell were talking in that boardroom. And then, surprise, you're a replicant. Your entire fucking life that you thought you'd lived. Didn't really happen.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because I think we just kind of glossed over the fact that his niece's brother, which would then make it his nephew, it's kind of into some weird incest shit. Like, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
That guy was kind of
And then he whips
weird
it out.
anyway.
And she runs away because she's like, I can't do it. Tee.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, they're writing this shit in the 80s, coked out of their fucking mind.
No, I thought that the reason Roy saved Deckard at the end was because he wanted to show that, or the movie wanted to show that replicants did have humanity. They did have the empathy that they said that replicants didn't show to other replicants.
I think he figured it out when he broke his hand. Or the fingers.
You think?
I think when he broke I think he was like, oh shit, this guy's a replicant and he has no fucking idea.
How would breaking fingers prove that?
Okay. I want you to come here, Rob. And I'm going to break your fingers and I want to see what kind of reaction that you have. Because going, is either shitty acting or it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as it was supposed to.
I mean, I've jammed fingers before and I've
cried like a bitch when I fucking jam my fucking thumb. All right. Like a bitch, like a whiny bitch.
So what you're saying is
like
you're a wolf.
3 fingers broken and he was just like, it kind of hurts a little. Don't do that.
I've dislocated a couple fingers and jammed all my fingers at one point or another. And it hurts like a motherfucker. And I've done more than just, So, yeah.
I'm telling you, he knew at that moment he was a replicant. Either that or the director was just like, that's Harrison Ford. People love him.
What? Maybe
Han Solo
Decker
over here.
Maybe Decker was too inebriated to feel it.
Well, that may be too. He was pretty fucking sauced.
Yeah, that guy was fucking always fucking 3 sheets. Like that was default setting.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe.
All right.
Picking again?
We are picking again.
Oh, man. So
Season
excited.
finale of Discovery.
Do it.
Nope.
Next week, James and I will be talking about the season finale of Discovery.
Y'all can talk about it all you want. It's not going to be on the show.
Yeah, that's what you think.
All right. Who's picking the number? Who's telling me when to stop?
I'll pick the number.
All right. What's your number?
69, because I'm looking at a picture of Babe Runner.
Babe Runner. Hey, they have one that's called Blade Runner 2069.
I was going to say, is Babe Runner 2069 out yet?
Yeah, it's coming.
All right, Rob. Tell me when to stop.
See what I did there? Don't ever stop. You know it.
That's just really creepy, and I
Baby,
don't
it's
want
cold
you
outside.
I don't want you to ever
Baby,
say
it's
that
cold
to me
outside. It's cold outside, baby.
It's
Stop.
actually really cold where Jason's at.
It is. It is. You can stop now.
All right. So
this week,
hold up here.
Next week,
Season 3, Discovery.
It's actually a decent movie.
Every time you say that, we are disappointed.
It's a fun
and
movie.
Then,
it's not
and
gonna
then you
have
get
a lot of
irritated.
dialogue in it.
Oh, fuck
for
hell.
fuck's sake.
So if the movie doesn't have a lot of dialogue, does that mean that when we cover the show next week, we don't have to have
dialogue?
We don't have to have a lot of dialogue.
Hey, the less dialogue I have from you, the better. All right, next week we're going to discuss the movie where, in the distant future, a small waste-collecting robot inadvertently embarks on a space journey.
Wall-E!
That
Oh,
will
God
ultimately
damn it.
decide the fate of mankind.
Wall-E!
Yes, it is Pixar's
Awesome.
Wall-E.
Who put this piece of shit on the fucking list?
It
You
says
don't
you
like
did.
Wall-E?
It's not that I don't like Wall-E.
Hey,
but
you
to
can watch it
consider
with your
Wall-E
girl.
sci-fi. Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah,
I'm
watch
very
it with
happy.
your
Like,
daughter.
she'll watch it for 5 minutes and then she'll be like,
No.
she got a Barbie Dream House for Christmas. She'll watch 5 minutes. She'll go, Barbie Dream House. Boom.
Put the Barbie Dream House in the same room.
This is not sci-fi. I can't believe I'm about to say
How
this.
the fuck is this not sci-fi?
How the fuck do we go from watching goddamn Blade Runner, which is arguably the pinnacle of what sci-fi is, to fucking Wall-E, which is goddamn Disney taking more money from everybody?
So you don't like Wall-E because it's from Disney?
Now, which version are we watching? Are we watching the director's cut,
watching
the final cut, or the fat ass cut?
I'll let you figure that out, Rob.
Perfect. Okay.
I can't wait.
Oh, and with that terrible disappointment, that's it. That's all we've got for this week. Our intro and outro music
You
is
need me
welcome
to do
by
it? I'm
Cameron.
pretty good at
to do the
Podcrawl
outro.
music is
I'm pretty good at this
Chet.
one.
If you like
Is
the
it
show,
really?
please rate and review us on
'Cause you're
iTunes.
gonna be
You
on
can
a
leave us
different
feedback
computer.
on our Discord channel
Probably
at
gonna be
smoking and
different
drinking
music.
space.com/Discord, on Twitter at status_podcast, or you can email us at smoking and drinking
I think it was
space at
waiting for you to
outlook.com.
do the outro.
If
gonna
you'd
do
like to
status
throw a
at
few nickels our way, you
gmail.com
can become a
from now on.
Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon. And make sure to visit Creative Brain Candy for more great shows and other creative works at creativebraincandy.com. For this week, I'm Jason.
currently creating a status at gmail.com.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, make it easier for our listeners.
Sex dolls and murder bots. Who thought that could be boring?
We did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, 100%.
And we'll talk to you next week.